Armor, weapons, and a code of honor. These are the things that separate a true knight from a common warrior, and knights have been in video games for decades now, so we're gonna give you the 10 best. Hey, I'm Nervous Nick for Screw Attack's Top 10 Knights in Gaming.
Number 10.
How could we not include Arthur on this list? He's like the Mario of knights, constantly venturing into the demon realm to save Princess Guinevere, or Prin if you're from Japan, from the clutches of the Dark Lord himself, Satan. It takes him all manner of weapons, magics, and items to wage war against the demon realm. Over the years, Arthur's had many types of armor, like the incredible golden armor, or even the emperor armor, but let's be real for a second. Can we all agree that his base armor sucks? That flimsy steel plate's only capable of sustaining a single hit before falling apart, which leaves Arthur to run around the graveyard wearing only his boxers. And considering how much he's expected to accomplish just in his underwear, that's a big reason why he's in our top 10. But hey, at least his lance is strong. I suspect that's why the princess wouldn't have any other knight. Wait, what did I just say?
Number 9.
So we may not have played every Fire Emblem game here at the HQ, but we are big fans of Awakening and the great knight Frederick. A no-nonsense sort of knight, Frederick is Chrome's companion from the start of the game and is skeptical of everything. Hence his title, Frederick the Wary. Some companions even note that he's a bit like a butler, wearing a suit and vest under all that armor. But the real reason why Frederick makes the list is because, honestly, he's way too OP in the early game. When you just start out looking at the grid during an encounter, have no doubt that you can send your whole crew one direction and Frederick the other. While good times like these don't last forever, because many other characters have the potential to become much stronger, never forget the stalwart Frederick who can take a punch and dish it out. I mean, you don't get the title of great while being a knight if you're anything but.
Number 8.
Back in the day, real knights were basically servants with armor, which is all the justification I need to put Lydia from Skyrim at number 8. Okay, well actually there's a bit more to it than that, and no, it's not just her smarmy attitude.
I am sworn to carry your burdens.
Okay, true story. When I was still low level running around Tamriel, I happened to find this chest guarded by some giants. I wanted the chest, so I pelted the giants with arrows from a cliff because I was afraid of getting one-hit KO'd by them if I tried fighting up close. Not Lydia! Lydia, bless her heart and all of her bravery, started chopping away at this thing's ankles only to get a first-class one-way ticket to the upper atmosphere. Night falls. I'm still whittling away with my cheap arrows, but far in the distance, I see a glowing light moving across the plains and gradually getting closer. It was freaking Lydia, back from the dead and ready to...
Number 7.
So you've made it to that part in Dark Souls where you see this big golden... No, wait, not that guy. That guy's a cannibal. Nobody would knight a cannibal. Wait for it. And that guy. This is Ornstein, the Dragonslayer. Not only is he the better half of Dark Souls' deadliest boss fights, but he's also the captain of the 4 Knights of Gwyn. You know, Gwyn, the lord of all bad things and final boss of the first installment? Yeah, anyway, Ornstein earned his title by killing dragons using his lightning-infused spear. Oh, and did we mention that he's freaking hard? Like, really hard? Should you manage to take down the golden cannibal first, Ornstein will consume his power, doubling in size and retaining his speed and agility. Ornstein is big. He's gold, and he's awesome.
Number 6.
Seriously, how is this guy not the perfect knight? I mean, sure, Sparkster is in fact a rodent and a rocket-propelled tin can, but he also has all the trappings of the definition of a knight. Armor? Check. Sword? Check. Rocket-powered jetpack? Double check. Taught the ways of the Rocket Knight as a young possum, Sparkster is the guardian of the Kingdom of Zephyrus and can blast into action at a moment's notice. While his adventures have taken him far beyond the kingdom and has fueled a rivalry with his nemesis Axelgear, he will forever protect the land and its many princesses. For honor. And possum chicks.
Number 5.
A long time ago, the world was wild and needed taming. There was only one man for the job. Shovel Knight! Okay, Shield Knight was there too, but the game's not named after her. Shovel Knight looked at the typical knight setup and decided to take things in a different direction. Does he ride a horse from town to town? Nope, he gets flung out of a catapult. Does he swing around a sword? Nope, he uses a shovel to pogo stick onto the heads of his enemies. And instead of the medieval code of chivalry, which is all about honor and bravery and courting pretty ladies, he follows the code of chivalry, which involves slashing mercilessly and digging tirelessly. And yes, he does those chivalry things too. Is he your typical knight? No. But Shovel Knight is still a knight to remember. Eh? Knight to remember?
Number 4.
If there was one Knight of the Year award given out in 2016, it would have gone to Reinhardt from Overwatch. Nowadays, this rocket-powered warrior is making his way up the tier list, but there was once a time when Reinhardt was a true knight. During the Great Robot War, Reinhardt was a member of the all-but-wiped-out Crusaders under General Baldric von Adler, the sole survivor of his order. In his J08 power armor, this 61-year-old veteran can still hang with the best of them and carries his code of valor with him into battle. That's what makes Reinhardt a true knight. It's not all about knocking your enemies off cliffs or protecting the payload, although that's a big part of it. It's reminding everyone he's doing it for the greater good of humanity in the name of the immortal David Hasselhoff.
Number 3.
So we've got to pick a knight from Soul Calibur, but are we going to go with Nightmare or Siegfried? Technically, they're almost the same person, but if you really think about it, Siegfried has defeated Nightmare a few times, so he's, by definition, the better knight. Siegfried SCHTAUFFEN wields the massive Zweihander, a devastating two-handed sword. Like, have you seen this thing? It's enormous, and he twirls it around like it's not the size of his entire body. When Siegfried was possessed by the demon Inferno, he became Nightmare, who in turn would conquer most of Europe. But then he turned around and fought the demon that conquered most of Europe and won so hard that it destroyed a whole castle? Or something like that? It kind of sucks a little bit that Inferno, like, possessed Siegfried's old armor, so now they just fight for eternity. But hey, Siegfried's awesome. Moving on.
Number 2.
It's not a real Final Fantasy game unless there's at least one character named Cid, and none of them epitomize knightliness more than CIDOLFUS Orlando from Final Fantasy Tactics. A sword saint from the Order of the Southern Skies, Cid was given the epithet Thunder God Cid for his valiant leadership during the 50 Years' War. He comes into the party equipped with a full suit of crystal armor and the legendary sword Excalibur. It not only boosts all his holy attacks, but it also default casts haste, which pretty much guarantees him the first strike. Oh, and when I mentioned holy attacks, I really mean attacks. Nearly every single one of his sword skills causes some form of physical damage by channeling his holy energy into divine ruination. Seriously, that is actually an attack that he has. And when he isn't causing some sort of holy explosion, he can use his skills to crush an enemy's armor piece by piece. Go ahead, name a better knight out there and TG Cid will go kill him.
It's number 1.
The Kirby universe has a wide cast of side characters, from mounted hamsters to regal penguins. But one remains shrouded in mystery. Meta Knight hides his intentions from the series' namesake behind a silver mask, which kind of ties into his whole anti-hero thing. But yet, he honors a code of chivalry, always offering Kirby a sword before a fight. The de facto leader of a group of warriors, the Meta Knights, Meta Knight, singular, wants to be the most powerful being in all the galaxy. His dimensional cape allows him to change the physics of space, and his sword, Galaxia, was forged by a fiery god named Photron. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention that he's got his own battleship. The Halberd is an airship that is larger than a castle, able to blast across the galaxy at hyperspeed using wormholes. Meta Knight is honorable and yet deadly, and to us, that is what makes the best knight.
Thank you for watching Top 10 Knights in Gaming. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe because we do top 10s every single week. In fact, you can even check out this playlist right here to see top 10s you might have missed. Or even go back and watch an old favorite. It's there for you to watch. Click it.